this lecture, we will discuss about multiple choice questions and case-based scenario questions. This is the material released by Institute of Chartered Accountants. So, paper 2, Corporate and Other Laws, booklet on MCQs and case scenario. So, Board of Studies, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So, recently released textbook, December 2020, applicable for May 2021 examination students. So, very important, definitely 80%, simple 80% questions will come from this textbook. So, I will start the discussion from question number 1 onwards. So, if you have enough knowledge with respect to this subject, no need to listen this class, directly solve them. Now, if you have any doubt, just listen to the class. Roma, along with her 6 friends, has incorporated Roma Trading Limited. It's a public company. In May 2019, the paid up share capital of the company is just 30 lakhs. Further, in April 2020, she noticed that in the last financial year, the turnover of the company was well below 2 crores. Advise whether the company can be treated as small company. Now, just remember the definition of small company. Small company is a company other than public company. Other than public company. Turnover shall not exceed 2 crores. Paid up share capital shall not exceed 50 lakhs. Roma satisfied this 2 crores limit and 30 lakhs limit, but Roma failed to satisfy private company because it's a trading limited, it's a public company, it is not a small company. Now, see the options. Roma Trading Limited is definitely a small company. No, wrong answer. It's not a small company because it's being a public company. How can you call one as a small company? The concept of small company is applicable only in case of private limited company or OPC, and therefore, despite meeting the criteria of small company, it being a public limited company cannot enjoy the benefits of small company. Right answer. So B is the right answer. See, unlike a private limited company, OPC, which automatically becomes a small company as soon as it meets the criteria of small company, Roma Trading Limited, being a public limited company, has to maintain the norms applicable to a small company continuously for 2 years so that thereafter it's treated as small company. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. So, if all the shareholders of Roma Trading Limited give an undertaking to ROC stating that they will not let the paid up share capital and also turnover exceed the limits as applicable to small company the next 2 years, then it can be treated as small company. So, B is the right answer. No, A, C, D are the wrong answer because the question is very clear. It's a public company. Public company never falls in the definition of small company. Next, question number 2. Abhilasha and Amrita have incorporated a not-for-profit private limited company which is registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013. One of their friends has informed them that company can be categorized as a small company because as per the last profit and loss account for the year ending 31st March 2019, its turnover was less than 2 crores and paid up share capital was less than 50 lakhs. Advice. Section 8 company excludes 5 companies. So, what are those 5 companies? Already know, public company was already excluded. Next one, Section 8 company, statutory companies. Section 8 company, statutory company, holding companies as well as subsidiary companies. So, these 5 companies will not come under will not fall in the definition of a small company. So, which one is the right answer, sir? Section 8 company which meets the criteria of turnover and paid up share capital in the last financial year can avail the status of small company. Wrong answer. If the acquisition of minimum 5% stake in another small company materializes in second financial year after meeting the criteria of turnover and paid up share capital, then with the written permission of concerned ROC, it can, no, it's wrong answer. Being called as a small company, no need to apply any permissions. The status of small company can't be bestowed upon a not-for-profit company which is registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act. Right answer. A Section 8 company, if incorporated as a private limited company and not as public limited company, can avail the status of small company with the permission of concerned ROC. Again, wrong answer because Section 8 company is not treated as a small company. Next, coming to third one. Namita Ceramic Goods Limited, having 152 members, was incorporated with the main objects to manufacture ceramic goods. How many members, ma? It's a public limited company. Namita Ceramic Goods Limited, 152 members. was incorporated with the main objects to manufacture ceramic goods, glazed and unglazed floor, wall tiles, etc., and to carry on trading in such products. After 3 years of successful operation, it wants to diversify its business by entering into the field of manufacturing electronic goods, for which it is required to alter its object clause. Advise the company in relation to alteration of memorandum. Okay, we'll look into the option. Generally, special resolution is required. Exit offer should be provided. Exit offer should be given to the dissenting shareholders. File documents with ROC within 30 days. ROC shall issue the certificate within 30 days of the same, within 30 days of filing, and you can start new business. So we look into the answer. The company can alter its memorandum by passing an ordinary resolution. Wrong answer. Special resolution is required. The company can alter its memorandum of association by passing a special resolution in shareholders general meeting. Primarily right answer. We'll go through the other options also. We'll look into the other options also. Company can alter its memorandum of association in relation to object clause by passing a special resolution in shareholders meeting and getting confirmed by regional director. No need of approval from regional director, amma. No need to get approval from regional director. So C is not a right answer. D. The company can alter its memorandum of association in relation to object clause by passing a special resolution, correct, in the shareholders meeting and simultaneously publishing the contents of special resolution in 2 newspapers circulating in that area. No, it is required for variation of contents in the prospectus. So section 27 applicable. Section 27. But for altering the memorandum of association, this much, no, this is not the criteria. This is not at all required. Swara Musical Instruments Private Limited was incorporated on 10th October 2018 by converting existing partnership firm into company. Sohini and Mohini became promoters of the company. Sohini premises, which was rented out to the partnership firm, was to be used as the register office. Mention the documents which needs to be filled with the registrar of companies for verification of registered office. We'll see that issue. A notarized copy of rent agreement along with rent receipt which is not older than 1 month. Okay. A copy of public notice published in local newspaper, not required, no need of any advertisement. So we'll go through elimination method. B is not a right answer. A, to some extent A is the right answer, but we'll see the remaining options also. A notarized copy of rental agreement along with the rent receipt which is not older than 2 months. Actually 1 month, actually 1 month. Rental agreement and copy of rental receipt. 1 month, it's not 2 months, so it's also wrong answer. A notarized copy of rental agreement. No. Rental agreement plus copy of rental documents. Copy of rental documents. Sorry, copy of rental receipt or rental payment simply, which should not be older than 1 month. So option A is the right answer. I repeat, option A is the right answer. Fifth one. Anupam got incorporated 1% company with his sister Alpana as the nominee, and about 3 years have passed satisfactorily. From time to time, Anupam does a number of charitable works. My 1% company should not do charitable works. It is associated with 3 NGOs. In the meantime, the business under OPC has also flourished. Okay. Now he is contemplating to convert the OPC either as a Section 8 company, that is formation of companies with charitable objects. Choose the correct opinion. OPC is prohibited from carrying some 3 activities. See, NBFC activities, OPC cannot do NBFC activities, OPC cannot carry Section 8 activities, OPC cannot carry investment activities, invest in other body corporates. So if these 3 conditions are satisfied, you can't do these 3 businesses. So we'll look into the answer. Since company belongs to Anupam, he has full discretion to convert OPC either as a Section 8 company or as a private or a public company. No, OPC can be converted into private or public, but not Section 8. So wrong answer. Since company was formed as a private company, the only option available with Anupam is to convert it into public limited company. It's also wrong answer. No, private to public, it's a 1% company. Next one, there is a specific prohibition on converting OPC into Section 8 company. Otherwise, it can be converted into private or public company without any hindrance. Correct answer. Since Anupam does a lot of charitable works, there is no prohibition to convert its OPC into Section 8 company. No, not permitted. So the right answer is C. Next one, sixth one. A issue house has issued an advertisement in 2 leading newspapers for selling a big number of shares allotted to it by a company under a private placement. In which of the following conditions the advertisement will not be deemed as prospectus? That advertisement will be deemed as prospectus if such advertisement is made within 6 months of the allotment or agreement to allot, or a whole consideration has not been discharged. If either of these conditions is satisfied, either of the conditions is satisfied, I repeat one more time, if either of these conditions are satisfied, in that case that advertisement falls under the prospectus. No, should not be treated as prospectus. That means after 6 months and whole consideration should be discharged. See, I'll read the answer. Advertisement was given within 6 months from the date of allotment, then it is a deemed prospectus. Advertisement was given after 6 months from the date of allotment and issuers paid the entire consideration to the company, not a deemed public offer. So no prospectus is required. So our right answer is B. So option C and D. Why not option C and D? The issuers did not pay entire consideration to the company till the date of allotment. So then deemed prospectus is applicable. Advertisement was given within 3 months from the date of allotment. Then also it is a deemed prospectus. So option C, D are wrong answers. Option A also wrong answer. Option B is the correct answer. So next question. Which of the following statements is not true? In case of shares, the rate of underwriting commission to be paid shall not exceed 5% of the issue price of the share. Actually, underwriting commission in case of shares 5% or AOA, rate mentioned in AOA, whichever is lower. So option A is partly correct. Underwriting commission should not be more than the rate specified by the Articles of Association. It is also correct. It is also partly correct, but incomplete. In case of debentures, the rate of underwriting commission shall not exceed 5%. Debentures is 2.5%. So this is straight away wrong. Amount of commission may be paid out of profits of the company. Amount of commission may be paid out of profits of the company. Yes, this is the correct answer. This is correct one. This is partly correct. This is also partly correct. But here the question is, which of the following statements is not true? It's not true. It's simply which is true. It's not true. You have to mention false statement. You can ask false, but in order to confuse you, he is writing which of the following is not true. So C is the correct answer. False statement. So 7th one, C. C is the answer. Next one, 8th. Which of the following statement is contrary to the provisions of Companies Act 2013? Again, below mentioned points, you have to find the odd one, or you have to find incorrect one. A private company can make private placement of securities. Correct answer. But the question is contrary. The question is contrary. Next one. The company has to pass special resolution for private placement. Correct one. Minimum offer per person should have market value of 20,000. Market value of 20,000. This condition is not there. Actually, here there is a condition, but it's a face value, it's not market value. So this is in contrary. This is in contrary to the Companies Act. And a public company can make a private placement of securities. Yes, public company can also make private placement. See, public company can make private placement. A private company can make private placement. Okay, now. So the incorrect answer is C. So minimum offer per person should have market value of 20,000. This condition is not there. Next one. A shelf prospectus filed with ROC shall remain valid for a period of shelf prospectus. Generally, prospectus is having a validity period of 90 days from the date of filing with ROC. But shelf prospectus shall have validity of 1 year. I repeat, 1 year from the date of first commencement of public offer. Simply, to that prospectus, the first public offer, from the date you need to count, you need to add 1 year. So 1 year from the date of registration, no. 1 year from the date of closing of first issue, no. 1 year from the date of opening first issue. C is the correct one. 90 days from the date a copy was delivered to ROC. This is for general prospectus. General prospectus, this statement is valid. General prospectus, the statement is valid. Next one, Shripad Religious Publishers Limited has received application money of 20 lakhs on 10th October 2019 from the applicants who applied for allotment of shares in response to a private placement offer of securities made by the company to them. Okay. Select the latest date by which company must allot the shares. Company must allot securities under private placement, within 60 days. 60 days of receipt of application money. Okay, na? So receipt of application money is 10th October. So exclude this date. In October there are 21 days left. 21 days. November 30. We need 60 days. 60 minus 21 minus 30. 9th. So 9th of the December. So 9th December 2019 is the cutoff date to make allotment. If you fail to allot within 60 days, then refund within 15 days from the expiry of 60 days. Or else, you are liable to pay interest at the rate of 12%. Company is liable to pay interest at the rate of 12% from 9th December onwards. It's not expiry date, it's from 9th December 2019. So 10th one answer is C, 9th December 2019. Simply calculation. Question number 11. Being in need of further capital, Rimsi Cotton Silk Products Limited opted to offer 50 lakh equity shares of ₹1 each to 50 identified persons on private placement. Yes, you can make private placement up to 200. Actually, the limit is 50 as per the act, but 50 or such higher amount as may be prescribed. Under rules, the limit 50 was increased to 200. Now you can make private placement up to 200 persons per security per annum. Okay. Again, I am telling, from while counting 200, exclude qualified institutional buyers and employees. Okay, 50 identified persons on private placement basis, and accordingly a letter of offer accompanied by application form was sent to them after fulfillment of due formalities, including passing of special resolution. One of the applicants, Rajan, made a written complaint to the company, highlighting the fact that the offer letter was incomplete as well as illegal. Why? As it did not contain renunciation clause, as he wanted to exercise his right of renunciation in favor of one of the son Uday. By choosing the correct option, advise the company in this matter. Under private placement, advertisement is prohibited. At the same time, renunciation is also prohibited. Renunciation benefit is not available. You can't advertise private placement. You can't renounce the securities offered. Sir, I want to renounce to one and only one son, my one son, sir. So only one son, my son. So can't, is there any solution to renounce in favor of my son? No, you can't renounce. So the private placement is valid, and the objection raised by that by the applicant is invalid. So Chudan, we'll see the answer. As the right of renunciation cannot be denied, the company needs to rectify its mistake by including the same in the offer letter. Wrong answer. The company is prohibited from providing right of renunciation, so the offer letter and application form need not include any such clause. Correct answer, but we'll see the balance option, rest of the options also. Instead of absolute prohibition, the company can provide right of renunciation limited to 25% of offering. Wrong answer. Instead of absolute prohibition, the company can provide right of renunciation limited to 50%. Wrong answer. So to me, B is the correct answer. We'll see the answer. 11th one, B. B is the correct answer. So the company is prohibited from providing right of renunciation. So the offer letter and the application form need not include any such clause. 12th one. Innovative Tech Solutions Limited intends to invite subscription to rupees 1.1 crore equity shares of 10 each on private placement. Again private placement, okay. The persons identified as potential subscribers are within the statutory limit, that means within 200 only, and include two other categories to which the statutory limit is not applicable. Now, two other categories: one category employees, second category qualified institutional buyer. One such category is employees of the company who are offered equity shares under employee stock option scheme. By choosing the correct option, name the other excluded category. Qualified is not quality. Qualified institutional buyers. Qualificational, no. Qualified investing institutional, no. So option 12th one, option B. So the correct answer 12th one, option B, qualified institutional buyers. Next, 13th one, Neptune Metals Tools Limited was incorporated on 2nd December 2018 with 25 subscribers and authorized capital of 50 lakhs. As the directors of the company are in a dilemma whether to issue physical share certificate to the subscribers or keep the shares in demat form. They need to be advised correctly in this respect. See, demat form is mandatory to the two companies. Of security should be held in demat form, two companies. Company making public offer. I repeat, company making public offer. And the second one, and the second one is prescribed class of companies. Central government will prescribe some companies. Prescribed class or classes of companies. Prescribed class or classes of companies. Is it clear? So, okay, so being an unlisted company, Neptune may either issue physical certificates to the subscribers or alternatively issue them in demat form. Partly correct, we'll see. Neptune needs to issue shares to the subscribers only in demat form. Wrong answer. A company having more than 100 shareholders need to issue shares in demat form. Wrong answer. Company having authorized share capital of 50 lakhs and above needs to issue shares in demat form. It's also wrong answer. So, for me, 13th one. So, the answer is B, it seems. 13th one B, Neptune needs to issue shares to the subscribers only in demat form. Neptune Metals Tools Limited was incorporated on 2nd December 2018 with 25 subscribers and authorized capital of 50 lakhs. 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. As the directors of the company are in dilemma to issue physical share certificate to the subscribers or to keep the shares in demat form, they need to be advised correctly in this approach. So, demat form of securities, it is applicable only to demat form of securities, it is applicable only to the companies making companies offering public securities to public. Offer of securities to public, and second one, prescribed classes of companies. Prescribed class or classes of companies. So, we don't know Neptune Metals Tools Limited, Neptune Metal Tools Limited, is it a listed company or unlisted company? We don't know. We actually don't know. So, being an unlisted company, Neptune may either issue physical share certificate to the subscribers or alternatively issue them in demat form. Correct answer. Neptune needs to issue shares to the subscribers only in demat form. This is also correct answer. If it is a listed company, B is the correct answer. If it is unlisted company, A is the correct answer. Okay. So, a company having more than 100 shareholders need to issue shares in demat form. No, it's not correct one. A company having authorized capital of 50 lakhs and above needs to issue shares in demat form, and therefore Neptune may issue physical share certificate to the subscribers. So, it's also not a correct one. So, the answer will be in either A or B. So, 13th one, answer is B. Neptune needs to issue shares to the subscribers only in demat form. So, assume that it's a listed company. If you assume that it's a listed company, B is the correct answer, or else both A as well as B, both are correct answers. Next one, 14th one, how much security deposit an unlisted company is required to maintain at all times with respect to depository when it dematerializes its securities? How much? Equal to not less than 1 year fee payable to depository? No, actually 2 years fees. So, equal to Not less than 2 years fees payable to depository. Yes, sir. B is the correct answer. 2.5 years not applicable. 3 years not applicable. So B is the correct one. So 14th one, B is the correct answer. Equal to not less than 2 years fees payable to depository. Next one, on which offer of securities commission is permitted to be paid to any underwriter by the company? No commission is payable on the securities not offered to the public. We'll see that option. When securities are offered on right basis, no need to pay. Securities offered in the form of bonus issue, no need to pay. Securities are offered on private placement basis, no need to pay. When securities are offered for subscription, you have to pay underwriting commission if you enter into underwriting agreement. So 15th one, D. Next one, 16. In case of offer of sale of shares by certain members of the company, which of the following options is applicable? The provisions relating to minimum subscription are not applicable. Offer for sale, yes. Minimum subscription not applicable because it won't come under allotment category. So A is the correct one. Entire minimum subscription is required to be received within 3 days. Wrong answer. Next one, offer for sale, no. Offer for sale of securities. 25% of minimum subscription amount is required to be received on the opening date and the remaining 75% within 3 days thereafter. No. Wrong answer. And then 50% of minimum subscription, there is no such condition. Wrong answer. So A is the correct answer. 16th one, A is the correct one. The provision relating to minimum subscription are not applicable to OFS. 17th one, when a copy of the contract for the payment of underwriting commission is required to be delivered to the registrar. So when? 3 days before delivery of prospectus, no ma, actually at the time of delivery of prospectus with ROC. So at the time of delivery of prospectus for our registration, yes, B is the correct one. 3 days after delivery of prospectus, wrong answer. 5 days after delivery, wrong answer. 3 days after delivery, 5 days after delivery, 3 days before, it's wrong answer. At the time of delivery of prospectus for registration. Next, so 17th one, B is the answer. Next, such shares which are issued by a company to its directors, employees at a discount for a consideration other than cash for working extraordinary hard and achieving desired output is honored with equity, no. Preference, no. Sweat equity, yes. Sweat equity shares are issued to directors of the company as well as employees of the company. The articles of association of a private limited company state that company may issue preference shares which will have preference of dividend only, but no preference as to the repayment of capital in case of winding up. Is it possible for the company to issue such preference shares? First of all, you have to identify that this is a company, not a public company. This is a private limited company. Private limited company. So what is a preference share capital, sir? Preference share capital, it carries priority with respect to two items. One is payment of dividend, the other one is repayment of capital. When compared to equity shareholders, these people will get priority. These people will get priority when compared to equity shareholders with respect to payment of dividend, with respect to repayment of capital. Yes or no? Yes, sir. These two things. Now, what the question, what exact requirement of the question? The company wants to issue preference shares. So the company may issue preference shares, will have preference of dividend only, but no preference on the repayment of capital. So generally, sir, you people will get, generally you people will ask me, sir, preference share means which carry preferential right with respect to dividend and capital, no. But in this question, there is only preference with respect to dividend, but not with respect to capital. So generally it is void, sir. So you will think that no, as per section 43, preference shares should have both preferences, but A is not correct answer. See, I am not going through the suggested answers. Reason, private limited company gets exemption from section 43 if AOA provides otherwise. Sir, how can we deviate from the basic definition, preference share capital definition, which carry priority with respect to dividend as well as capital? Why can we, how can we deviate from the existing provision? If you open section 43 and if you read section 43, at the end there is a note point. So yes, exemption, these provisions are not applicable to private company if AOA provides otherwise. So the correct answer is, see, A is not a correct answer. No, this will become equity share as per section 43. No. Yes, because as per section 43, preference shares should have only one preference. This is also wrong answer. Yes, because AOI of a company allows of such preference shares and the issuing company is a private limited company. So D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. So we'll see the answer, 19th one. So D, yes, because AOI of the company allow such preference shares and the issuing company is a private limited company. So the answer is D. Don't come to the wrong conclusion. So AOI of a private company provides, AOI of a private company can provide alternative way also. Next question number 20. Question number 20. The general meeting of the company is to be held on 30th August 2020. The company has not paid dividend for the financial year 2018-19. It has also not yet paid any dividend for the year 2019-20. In such case, preference shareholders. So, what is the requirement? So, do you think preference shareholders will get dividends or not? So, preference shareholders will not have the right to vote because preference shareholders has no right to vote. This is not a correct answer because continuous 2 years dividends are not paid. If I say in arrears, then it is applicable only to cumulative because for cumulative preference shareholders only arrears concept is applicable. For non-cumulative preference shareholders, whenever there is a profit, we will pay the dividend. If there is no profit, we won't pay the dividend because dividend is not a charge to the profit. It's an appropriation of the profit. So, dividends are not paid. So, A is the right or wrong answer. We'll have right to vote because dividend for the last 2 years have not been paid. Will not have the right to vote because only equity shareholders can vote in general meeting, but there is an exception, so this is also not a right answer. Will have a right to vote because preference shareholders have the right to vote in general meetings. No, only equity shareholders are entitled to vote at a general meeting. So if you see the answer, 20th answer, it's a B. So we'll have right to vote because 18-19 no dividend, 19-20 no dividend. So they are entitled to attend general meeting which is going to be conducted on 30th August 2020 and they can vote at that general meeting. So option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Next one ma, moving on to question number 21. In a company, if any change of right of one class also affects the right of another class. No, here the question is regarding section 48, variation of rights of the members. Variation of rights of the members. So, yes, if change of right of one class affects the change of other class, then you have to take approval from the other class also. A resolution should be passed in general meeting in this case. Now, what kind of resolution? So, it's incomplete answer. Company need not do anything else, wrong. Written consent of 3/4 majority, exactly 3/4 majority of that other class should also be obtained. So, C is the right answer. A resolution in joint meeting of both the classes should be passed. No, separately. So, 21 C is the correct answer. So, 21 C is the correct answer. Next one, 22. Rajesh Infrastructure Limited wants to issue preference shares for a period exceeding 20 years. So, it's an infrastructure company. Remember, infrastructure company and wants to issue preference shares for a period exceeding 20 years. Maximum tenure of a preference share is 20 years. However, to the infrastructure companies, it's not 20 years. It will be extended to 30 years. Provided from 21st year onwards, every year 10% redemption should be done. So, financing its proposed infrastructure project on the basis of which statement company can do so. Yes, company can issue irredeemable. No company is allowed to issue irredeemable preference shares. Yes, company can issue preference shares for a period more than 20 years with the prior approval of central government. No. Central government has no power with respect to extension of time limit. NCLT, it can extend but not at the time of issue but at the time of redemption. So, this is also not a correct answer. Yes, company can issue irredeemable preference shares for infrastructure project. For infrastructure project, maximum 30 years. It's not irredeemable. So, C is also wrong answer. Yes, company can issue preference shares for infrastructure project for a period up to 30 years. Actually, 30. No, there is a printing error. Up to 30 years. So, if you ask me, this is also wrong answer. But we will look into the answer. 22D. Company can issue preference shares for infrastructure project for a period up to 30 years and actually for a period 30 years. Printing error ma, just rectify. Infrastructure project can proceed up to 30 years. So A, B, C are wrong answers, ma, because A irredeemable wrong answer, C irredeemable wrong answer, and B, central government has no such power to extend the time limit. That's why A, B, C are not answers. They won't come under answer. But D, it will come under the answer. Next, 23. If a company has authorized share capital of 6 lakhs, paid up share capital of 5 lakhs, a loan of 2 lakhs obtained from the state government. The state government asks the company to convert its loan into the shares. Then such order shall have the effect of increasing. Section 62, whenever you obtain loans from the government and if you fail to pay that loan amount, considering the terms of issue, considering the factors, financial position of the company and public interest, government is having a discretionary power, to convert loans into the shares. So we'll see. Then such order shall have effect of increasing authorized share capital. We'll see. Subscribed share capital, yes, the capital gets increased. Paid up share capital, yes, the paid up share capital will also get increased. Authorized share capital, yes, it will also get increased. So yes, company balance sheet capital will get changed, and in MOE also authorized share capital gets increased. So 23 answer is D, all of the above. So everything gets increased. That's why all of the above is the right answer. Next one. A company bought back 10% of its equity shares in August 2020. Very good. Due to certain miscalculations during the first buyback, it again buy back another 10% equity shares in September 2020. No, it's not possible, because the minimum time gap between two buybacks, completion of first buyback or completion of prior buyback to commencement of subsequent buyback, completion of prior buyback and commencement of subsequent buyback, the time gap should be minimum 1 year. So it is not possible. We will see whether the company can sort to the second buyback. It can do subject to the fulfillment of other conditions, because maximum buyback in a financial year is up to 25%. Up to 25% is the correct one, but it can do wrong. It cannot do so because there must be a time gap of 12 months between two buybacks. So B is the correct answer. We will see C and D also. It can buy back shares within 1 year, but the company need to pass an ordinary resolution by its board of directors. Is altogether wrong answer. It can buy back shares within 1 year, but the company will have to pass a special resolution. No. Special resolution is required according to AOA. Board resolution up to 10% of paid up equity share capital plus free reserves plus securities premium. But the question is, can company make buyback in the next month itself? No, because the time gap between commencement of present buyback and the completion of prior buyback, they should not exceed. It should not exceed 1 year. 25. Swagat Hospitality Limited defaulted in the repayment of last 2 installments of term loan availed from National Commercial Bank. On 30th September 2019, they cleared all the dues by repaying it. When can it issue equity shares with differential voting rights? When it can issue equity shares with differential voting rights? So the question is, Swagat Hospitality Limited defaulted in the repayment of so differential voting rights. They made a default of term loan. On 30th September they cleared all the dues. So rectification happened in the year 2019-20. Now 5 years, you have to wait for a period of 5 years because of after rectification of such default. After 5 years, yes, you can see. Upon expiry of 5 years from the date on which such default was made good. It's not date, it's a financial year. So it's not a correct answer. Upon the expiry of 3 years, no, it's not 3 years, 5 years. Upon the expiry of 5 years from the end of financial year in which such default was good, C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. I'm telling you, each and every word is very, very important. So option A and C looks like similar, but option A, from the date of which the default was made good. From the date of which the default was made good. But C, from the date upon the expiry of 5 years from the end of the financial year in which such default was made good. So C is the correct one. Upon expiry of 7 years, no, it's not 7 years, it's 5 years. Let's look into the answer. 25, no, C, 25C, no, B, this one also completed, 12 months between two buybacks. So, okay, 25, C, upon expiry of 5 years from the end of the financial year in which such default was made good. Next one. Ruchi was handed over an instrument of transfer dated 21st August 2020, duly stamped and signed by Radha, who had transferred 2000 equity shares of 100 each, allotted to her by Murthy Mechanical Toys Private Limited. Advise Ruchi regarding the date by which the instrument of transfer along with share certificate must be delivered. Exactly, 30 days. 30 days. It's not 30 days actually, it's 1 month. Within, sorry. Just look into the question one more time. What is the requirement? Ruchi, advise Ruchi regarding the date by which instrument of transfer, transfer deed plus original share certificate should be delivered to the company. Transferor Ruchi should deliver these documents with company within how many days, sir? Exactly within 60 days. 60 days of execution of document. On receipt of documents by the company, company has to issue share certificate in the name of transfer within 1 month. So 1 month it is different. 30 days, 1 month is different. This thing is different. 60 days. So transfer deed was dated 21st August 2020. 21st August. In August we are having 31. So 31 minus 21, they are 10 days. September 30. Balance 20, October 20. So it is the last date. Last date is 20th October 2020. 20th October 2020. By the last 20th October 2020, transferor has, the documents has to be delivered to the company. I'm not telling transferor should post it. I'm telling company should receive them. Company should receive them. When, sir? Company should receive them within 60 days of execution of transfer date. So the answer is 20th October 2020. So 20th October 2020. Next one, ma. Sri Lakshmi Jewelry Store Private Limited was incorporated and on 27th August, incorporation date 27th August 2020 with 30 persons as subscribers to memorandum. 30 persons. Very good. Private company, maximum 230 is very decent. And with authorized share capital of 1 crore divided into equal number of shares of 1 each. Each subscriber subscribed for 1 lakh shares, 30 into 1 lakh shares, 30 lakh shares. Advise the company about the company, by what date it needs to deliver share certificate to the subscribers, within 2 months from the date of section 54, 2 months from date of incorporation. So date of incorporation is 27th August 2020. So 27th August, add 2 months. So 27th October. So 27th October 2020. By 27th October 2020, the share certificate should be should be given to the subscriber. So 27th October 2020 is the right answer. Next one, 28. Keshika is the original owner of 1000 equity shares of 50 each, being allotted by Modern Biscuits Private Limited. She wanted these shares to be transferred to her younger sister Vanshika as a gift. She completed transfer deed in all respects and delivered the same to the company along with share certificate on 11th July. Delivered to the company 17th July. However, company did not register the transfer even after the expiry of more than 1 month, nor did it send any notice of refusal. The loan reminder to the company remained unanswered. An appeal needs to be filed against the company with the NCLT. It's a private limited company. So, private limited company, you can lodge complaint with NCLT within 60 days of filing documents. Option A, within 60 days. Filing, delivering of, simply filing or delivering documents with company. in case of no reply. No reply. Suppose, sir, if there is a reply from company, we are not going to register these shares. Then within 30 days of company rejection, advised by choosing the correct option as to why who has to right to file the appeal, either transfer or see the answer. Keshaki, who continues to remain owner and transferor of equity shares till they are registered in the name of Vanshika, has the right to file an appeal with NCLT against the company. Vanshika, as transferee and would be owner of the equity shares, has right to file an appeal with NCLT against the company. Both Keshika and Vanshika have filed to joint appeal with NCLT against the company. For neither Keshika nor Vanshika are authorized to file the appeal. No. As per its discretion, NCLT may allow either no. So the answer will be either A or B. So we'll see once again the options A. Keshika, who continues to remain owner and transferor of the equity shares still they are registered in the name of Vanshika, has a right. No, Keshika is no more a owner. Already shares were transferred. Who is the owner, sir? Vanshika is the owner. Just registration is pending. So Vanshika as transferee and would be the owner of equity shares. So would be the owner. See, this is the most appropriate word if you ask me. Of the equity shares has right to file an appeal with NCLT against the company. So B is the correct answer. The best option is B. So 28, if you see the answer, 28. Vanshika as transferee would be owner of the equity shares, has the right to file an appeal with NCLT against the company. So B is the correct answer. Next question. Question number 29. It has been decided by Vanita Watches Limited to issue sweat equity shares to 5 of its employees for the value addition made by them in terms of economic benefits, which proved beneficial to the company. For how many years the employees who have allotted sweat equity shares cannot transfer them? Simply, lock-in period. So for unlisted companies, the lock-in period to the employees is 3 years from the date of allotment. So 1 year not a right answer, 3 years correct one, date of allotment, 5 years no, 6 months no. So 29th answer, 29B, 3 years from date of allotment. Next one, 30. Prithvi Cements Limited is desirous of issuing debentures carrying voting rights. Oh my God. Debentures carrying voting rights. Possible? Tell me, is it possible? Prohibited. Debenture holders are not entitled to vote at the general meeting. They should not have voting rights according to section 71. Voting rights are absolutely prohibited. Which of the following is the best suited in such a situation? Prithvi Cements Limited can issue debentures carrying? No. Prithvi Cements Limited can issue debentures carrying? No. Prithvi Cements Limited can issue such voting rights only if it mortgages its land and buildings worth 2 times the amount of the debentures. No, there is no such exception. Prithvi Cements Limited cannot issue debentures carrying voting rights. So D is the correct answer. So 30th D, Prithvi Cements Limited cannot issue debentures carrying preferential voting rights. Next, 31. While making an explication to tribunal for seeking its confirmation in respect of extinguishing the liability of 3 per equity share, Medhavi Publishers Limited has to file a certificate along with the application that accounting treatment proposed by it for such reduction of share capital is in conformity with accounting standards specified in the prescribed section. Advise the company who can issue such certificate. Company auditor should certify it that financial statements or accounting treatment for reduction of share capital happened according to the accounting standards. We will check the answer. Any of the directors? No, it's not director, company auditor. A practicing company secretary is authorized? No. The auditor of the company is authorized to issue such certificate. So C is the correct answer. The legal advisor of the company is authorized, not a legal advisor, company auditor. So auditor of the company is the right answer. So 31 answer is C. The auditor of the company is authorized to issue such certificate. Next one, 32. A reserve account that shall not be used by the company for any purpose other than repayment of deposits. Simply deposit repayment reserve. Debenture redemption reserve, it is meant for debentures. Deposit repayment reserve, yes, it's a correct answer. Capital redemption reserve, it is used only for issuing fully paid up bonuses. Free reserve account can be utilized for any purpose. So the right answer is 32. 32 is B, deposit repayment reserve. Deposit repayment reserve. Next, 33. Normally, no deposits are repayable earlier than minimum 6 months. Minimum 6 months. From the date of such deposits or renewal thereof. Yes, minimum 6 months. So B is the correct answer. So 33 B, 6 months. Minimum tenure is 6 months. Next, 34. Bhumi Real Estate Developers Limited has accepted deposits from its members which are being paid on the maturity without any default. As a statutory obligation, the company is required to deposit in a specified account opened with its bankers, a particular account, on or before 30th April of each year till the deposits are fully repaid. Advise the company regarding quantum of amount which must be so deposited. 20% actually. So it's a 20%. 20%. We'll see the answer. 20% of the deposits maturing current next financial year, they should be kept as a reserve. See, it's 50 wrong answer, 30 wrong answer, 20 right, 10 wrong answer. So not less than 20% of the amount of deposits maturing during the following financial year. So the answer is 34C. Next, 35. A limited company is accepting deposits of various tenures from the members from time to time. The current register of deposits maintained at its register office is complete. State the minimum period for which it should mandatorily be preserved in a good order. Actually 8 years from the date of repayment of the deposits. We will look into the answer whether that answer is there or not. 4 years, no. 6 years from the financial year in which latest entry is known, it's 8 years. 8 years from the financial year in which latest entry is made in the register. So C is the correct answer. 10 years, it's the wrong answer. So I will check the answer. 35 C. 8 years from the financial year in which the latest entry is made in the register. Next one, 36. Dream World Entertainment Limited has accepted deposits worth 50 lakhs from public on 1st April 2019 for a period of 24 months. Deposits 24 months possible. Maximum tenure 36 months, 24 months, okay. That is, repayment of deposit would be made on 31st March 2021. The rate of interest payable on such deposits is 9% per annum. 9% per annum. One of the depositors, Mr. Aman, requested the company on 1st June 2020 for premature repayment of his deposit of 6 lakhs along with interest. Advise the company in the said matter. Premature termination, yes, possible. The company can only make premature repayment of deposit with an intention to reduce total amount of deposits to bring within permissible limits. No, it's not appropriate answer. The company can prematurely repay the deposit along with interest at the rate of 9% per annum for the period of 12 months. The company can prematurely repay deposit along with interest at the rate of 8% per annum for the period of 12 months. See what happened. One person is claiming the deposit. He requested the company on 1st June itself. 1st April 19 to 1st June 2020. So the time gap will be 14 months. Whoever wants to prematurely terminate the deposit, will pay interest 1% less. So C, the company can prematurely repay the deposit along with interest at the rate of 8%. Logic is simply 9% minus 1%. 1% reduction will be done. So 8% for the period of 12 months only, because completed year. So that is the reason. Completed year. They will get interest for the completed year only for the period of 12 months from 1st April to 31st March 2020. So C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next one, Sunith Spices Limited decides to raise deposits of 20 lakhs from its members. However, it is of the opinion to secure such deposits partially by offering security worth 15 lakhs. Which of the following options best describes such deposits? If you want to accept secure deposits, then that security should be able to cover the value of the principal as well as interest. But here, deposit 20 lakhs and security worth 15 lakhs. So we call it as unsecured. It's not secured. See, fully secured deposits except a small portion. No, unsecured deposits. So B. So partially secured concept is not available. So unsecured deposits. Only two deposits: secured, unsecured. When we call a deposit as a secured deposit, only if it covers the entire value of the dues. Next one. What is the maximum tenure for which a company can accept or renew deposits from its members as well as public? Maximum tenure 36 months. No doubt, maximum tenure 36 months. So 36 months. Next one. Ruchita wants to renew her deposit of 5 lakhs maintained with Kival Constructions Limited before the expiry of original period with a view to avail higher rate of interest. Okay. For how much extended period Ruchita is required to renew her deposit so that company shall pay higher rate of deposits? Maximum 36 months only. See, 1.5 times the unexpired period of the original deposit, double the unexpired period. 6 months more in addition to unexpired period, not possible. Longer than unexpired period of the deposit. So D is the correct answer. Sima, longer than unexpired period of deposit is the correct answer. So why? Because she wants to renew the deposit. Already completed, original period completed. Original period is completed. She want to renew. She can renew maximum 3 years, but 36 months is not available in the option. So maximum 36 months. That's why we are telling longer than unexpired period of the deposit. Next one. Any person acquiring property on which charge is to be registered under section 77 shall be deemed to have notice of charge from date of any person acquiring property, within not 30 days. It's not 30 days. Date of application for charge, date of acquiring the property, date of such registration. So we'll see the answer 40D, date of registration of the charge. The moment it got registered with ROC, it becomes a public document. If it becomes a public document, then it will be valid. Doctrine of constructive notice is applicable. Is it clear?
Hi students, I'm Prakash, Academic Advisor, Masterminds. Just now you have watched a sample video of detailed explanation to MCQs released by ICAI at CA Inter and IPCC level. So as you already know that at CA Inter and IPCC level, in all the theory subjects, 30% of the question paper will consist of MCQs. That is, in each paper 30 marks are being dedicated to MCQs. So, and majority of them will be case based, scenario based MCQs. And CA Institute has officially released such kind of case based, scenario based MCQs, and they have even released some normal style of MCQs also. Our faculty team have made detailed videos on all such MCQs, in which our faculty have given a detailed explanation to each and every MCQ. Just now you have watched a sample video of the same. If you really like that video, then you can purchase this MCQs explanation videos of your choice, which are available in our app. For that purpose, you need to first install our Android app, which is available in Google Play Store, and our app name is Masterminds Online Classes. If you belong to iOS platform, then please do install an app called Class Plus and enter the organization code as MZGun. Now, so after installing the app, click the button Store. So here you can find options like CA Inter MCQs. Click that. So here are the courses available in which our faculty have given detailed explanation to each and every MCQ. For example, look at the auditing subject. Let's see. So here is the content. Here are the videos of MCQs explaining in the subject of auditing, and whatever the subject you want, you can purchase. It's not compulsory to purchase the MCQs of all the subjects. You can purchase each individual subject of your choice also, and based on the number of hours of content, we have even fixed the fee. So you can purchase these videos at your own convenience and you can start watching the same. And for all these videos, we will be given 1.5 views. That means a 1 hour video can be watched for 1.5 hours. And similar videos are even available for CA IPCC students also. Hope that you will enjoy this service. My dear students, if you have any academic issues and would like to contact me, then please send a mail to my mail ID with all your details, and my mail ID is mssprakash2012@gmail.com. All the best. Let's have a glimpse into the roots of the masterminds. So masterminds were established in 2002 and is undeniably the pioneer and the leader in MEC, CA and CMA coaching in India, with a lion's share of nearly 20,000 admissions per annum. It is an incredible initiative by 3 visionary edupreneurs. That is me, MSS Prakash, Chartered Accountant, my brother Mohan, my sister-in-law Radha, from the same family at a very young age under the successful mentorship of our father, Mr. M. Sivaprasad. Within the shortest span, our presence have expanded to almost all major cities of AP and Telangana. We are humbled to say that very soon we want to expand to the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu also, so especially with the wishes and support of all our old students. We offer best quality services for MEC with integrated coaching for CRCMA Foundation. Exclusive MEC CEC coaching is also available. Regular class, study hours and revision exams, MMTS services for all the levels of CSCMA courses. And recently we launched a unique academic program called MEC Pro, aiming the students who aspire to pursue BBA, CLAT or MBA in future rather than CA/CMA courses, and we have received excellent response. So our students have achieved first rank for 47 times in various courses that we offer coaching. Till now, our students have bagged 977 All India ranks in all the stages of CA/CMA courses. So 98 All India ranks in a single attempt of CMA inter and final exams, and 180 All India ranks in CA/CMA courses in 2019 and 20 alone. So 3 All India first ranks in the year 2020 alone. So right now we have around 150 batches of various courses in Guntur and all our branches together.